Autopsy.
Ho, 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 ho. What's going on? It's your boy, Person Fat Samurai Guy, back again with another episode of Action Film Autopsy, baby. Oh, yeah. And who we got returning, brother? We got the Anubis that be DJing in the house. Oh, woo, look at that. That's right.
He just
Welcome
went
back,
to
brother.
he just went to the bathroom.
They got welcome back, brother. And you know him, you love him, the commentary beast. Frank Jang is back. What's up? Woo. That's right. Yeah. And that's right. Sifu, Kung Fu Santa, he is here. That's right. That's right. He is here. The legend is back. And yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about today. Oh, we got Omniblast in the house. Hey. Justin in the house. What's good, Samurai? What's going on, Justin? Good to see you, brother. Thank you, everybody, for watching and chiming in, baby. Oh, yeah, we're going to jump right into it. Before we get to the action part of the autopsy today, we're going to switch gears just for a second here. We're going to start with horror. That's right, horror.
No, we're not.
Brought to us from, yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Well, go USA. HI-yah. I'm starting with horror.
Good
That's
luck.
right. Soul Reaper. That's right. People need to stop sleeping on horror from Indonesia, baby, because they got great stuff over there. That's right. It's available by the almighty Well Go USA right now. Quick plot synopsis. A teenager with the ability to enter other people's dreams. When he witnesses a dark spirit taking people's lives in their dreams, he quickly realizes that it's related to the mysterious deaths that are happening in the real world. Yes, really enjoyed this. Great visuals, some really fun practical effects, some little jump scares here and there, but not too many. And things get really intense. But the movie definitely has focuses on themes of grief and loss. But I'm telling you, the antagonist in this movie is not fucking around. Is not fucking around. But I don't want to spoil any other plot synopsis and stuff like that, and why this person is on the hunt. But definitely has some fun vibes of, Nightmare on Elm Street and other films of that ilk. But yeah, I highly recommend Soul Reaper. It's actually available right now digitally, and I'm sure there'll be physical versions of it coming out. So yeah, highly recommend Soul Reaper. Definitely enjoyed it. Stop sleeping on Indonesian horror films. All right, Rick, what we got next from HI-yah?
Well, wait a minute. I mean, I'm so excited that the whole gang is here. Here we are, July 1st, doing the June action film autopsy.
Yes.
And, and it's funny, I was saying, okay, we're doing the June action film autopsy, all the stuff that was released in June, but what was it about July that rang a bell? What is it about July that's ringing a bell? It's kind of like, what happens in July that we've done for 27 years, 27 and a half years. And of course,
these are the kind of guys that wear the band shirts to the band show right here.
So, it's kind of like, what is it about that? I mean, of course, I can't remember because you're not allowed to announce it until 2 weeks before the said event. But, for the last 27 years, we've been doing the San Diego Comic-Con Superhero Kung Fu Extravaganza. So
yes.
With any luck, well, why am I even mentioning it? Because just like every other year, all the tickets are sold out already. So there's no reason for me. So if anybody out there has tickets to the Comic-Con, call me in about a week. In any case, now, speaking of that, we're going to have a bunch of movies from Well Go, the best of Well Go at said event if it happens, and if we're involved. But we don't have to delay the ones that they released this month. They had 3 come out in the theaters, more than 3, and on the HI-yah streaming service. And so we're starting off with 9 Ring Golden Dagger. And I'm telling you, it is fun to see this stuff because every week, new streaming movies come out in China. And these streaming movies are indistinguishable from major motion pictures. The costumes,
Yeah.
the scenery, the actors, the crowds. I mean, I spent the whole movie going, is anybody digitalized? Of these huge mob of people, is any of this digitalized? No, I think these are all actual actors with these beautiful costumes, and they have all this. And as they go on, and as the government does not crack down on the streamers saying what they can and cannot make, they get better each week, each month. And so and it's also for all of you out there who want to be filmmakers or are filmmakers, I can strongly recommend, even if you're not interested in the historical tale of General Yang Yi, which is what Nine Ring, Golden Dagger, and certainly not just him. He's taken care of in the first sequence, but his daughters, two of his daughters, go to avenge him and recollect his sword, the title sword. And the filmmaking gets better and better. So watch how they do what they do, even though you'll never have as many people and as good costumes and as good scenery as they have, but you can see how they cut their fights. And you can see how they shoot their fights, because for the most part, they don't have that huge group of kung fu fighting experts like they used to have 20, 30, 40 years ago. So, but everybody in China pretty much, they know kung fu the way, Americans know baseball. So they can put on a good show. And if they have a good choreographer, and all these filmmakers are young. When I look up, this filmmaker is Fang Zigun. No, wait a minute, Fang Zhaojun.
Oh, big difference.
Yeah, real different. I was trying to read my own handwriting. It's not good. But he was the director and the action director. So it was really fun to see him develop. And you check his records, and it's hard to find out if they've done other movies because IMDb doesn't follow these guys. But he's only done one or two other things, and so he gets better with each film. And this is a strong. In the middle of the movie, it turns into Dragon Gate Inn, and then they have the center section in one set in a desert bar, basically. But It is very effective, especially. And what's even better is it's very effective at the beginning, at the end. And now, one thing that I've learned is I love fast forwarding. I love fast forwarding so much, and this is a great. The first 10 minutes of this movie, if you're not hooked, something's wrong with you. So yeah, I can recommend it. I'm going to, we'll wait till the end of the thing for my review. But let's go on to the next one, which is The Wild Blade of Strangers. The Wild Blade of Strangers. What a great title. That's another great thing about these Well-Go and HI-yah originals. They translate the title, and it has nothing to do with the original title. I think the original title of this movie is like Bad Horse or something something like that. Now, Frank, do you recognize that guy? The one in the top and the one at the bottom?
Nope.
That's Max Zhang.
Oh.
Yeah, Max Zhang is one of these guys.
Nice.
Like Donnie Yen, like Jet Li, like Jackie Chan, who've been around a while, of course, but he's much younger. And he's cut his teeth on these screaming movies, so he'll never be a major star, unfortunately, like Jet or Jackie, because the Chinese government does not support major motion picture kung fu, but they're letting it on the streaming all the time. And
but this is not a streaming movie, though. This was
a release to the theaters. Oh,
yeah,
really?
I think so. Yeah,
I should have known, because usually you can tell, because if the movie is 90 minutes or shorter, it's streaming. If it's 90 minutes or longer, it may be featured, but I don't know. It could be, but it might not be, because it's about the same level of production. Okay. And the director is Wai Li, who was, it might be, you're right, because Wai Li was Zhang Yimou's assistant director when Zhang Yimou was doing all his classic films. And Yong Guo was the action guy, and the action is pretty darn good, although it's all blade oriented. There's a reason the title is what it is. But man, so watchable. So interesting.
Max is excellent. So I gotta check this out.
Max is always welcome. Either one is, you'll be fine. Again,
cool.
Just watch the first 10 minutes of Golden Dagger. And if you're not hooked, something's wrong with you. So anyway.
Nice.
Now we get into a new phase, which is the movie that will go released to the theaters, which is not on HI-yah yet, but will be eventually, is 11 Rebels.
Yes.
Now, did I give you the other poster? Do you have the other poster of 11 Rebels?
I chose this one because the other one looked like AI made up. Like,
well,
weird.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
Okay.
I'll find it. Yeah, 11 Rebels is a Japanese saga based on history. And it's very interesting because we'll be dealing with another movie, another Japanese movie, I think a little later on this episode, which has the same situation. Because back in the golden days, in all my previous books, I always had a chapter on Chambara movies. I loved the samurai stuff. And the samurai stuff with the Zatoichis, with the baby cart. Interestingly, the Zatoichi and the baby cart existed to do what these films are doing now, but not with superheroic, because Zatoichi and baby cart, both of those guys, Ogami Ito and Zatoichi, were basically superheroes. They were literally manga superheroes in the case of Ogami Ito, because that was based on a Japanese manga. They weren't real people, they were super or supra heroes who could do amazing things with the sword. These movies, 11 Rebels, also, I think, there we go. Now, does that look familiar to you, that poster? Because there was another movie which had a number and a term, that a Japanese thriller, and they're making it look like that. They're making it look like it's a samurai thriller. 11 Rebels was a big surprise to me because it's very emotional, and it affected me emotionally. Because this is the story. What's happening now is that the Japanese are willing to portray the samurai and the shogun more accurately, or at least more like recognizable human beings who are given these. What happens to humans when they get a lot of power?
Yeah.
Oftentimes 75 to 95% of them go crazy with the power.
Yes.
And this movie starts with, because back in the day when I did my Ninja Master novels, I was also talking about how the creation of the ninja, and the ninja were created because the samurai were, most of them were bastards. They were, because they had such power and they could do whatever they want to the peasants, anything. So at the beginning of this movie, a samurai rapes a geisha, and the husband of the geisha is a farmer, and he can't do anything about it except he does.
Oh, he fucked that dude up.
He fucked that dude
that
up.
was bad.
But that sets in motion
a
series of quintessentially Japanese things, which is the samurai can't allow this, the shogun can't allow this, and unfortunately, because this guy came from a family of samurai who would do something like that, of course, all his brothers are like that too. And so they have the suicide squad going after these. So then basically it puts these poor peasants and farmers in an impossible situation, because if they don't handle this correctly, these samurai and the shogun are completely within their rights to destroy not just them, but all their loved ones and everybody they know. In fact, destroy their village. So here you can see there's a person over. There's this big hulking guy. There's this mentally handicapped guy. And there's the old man in the back there. And
that's my guy right there.
He's awesome.
That's my favorite character. This guy right here, man.
This guy is awesome.
Guy. I knew just the kind of how he walked and presented himself. I was like, that guy's badass. He's awesome. I know he can handle himself. He's my favorite character.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
This does not end happily.
No.
For anyone but the village.
Yeah.
But that was still okay. And there's some really great moments. I've reacted more to this movie than virtually any other Japanese movie of the last 10 years. This really nails the emotional content, and the action is still great.
Oh, the action's so good. So
Because
good.
these are villagers for the most part. They're not professionally trained, but some of them are.
Some
like
of them, yeah.
Like that old guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
even though I knew
it's amazing.
most likely it was going to end badly,
Yeah.
it still got me at the end. And I was quiet. When
It
the movie
en-
ended, I was
yes.
quiet for like 10, 15 minutes.
It,
And I watched this with a buddy of mine, and we were like, oh shit, oh that was great, oh this is hilarious, oh this is awesome. That's our reaction during the movie. And then when it ended, we were quiet for like 10 minutes. We didn't talk to each other.
It really gets to you. It got to me. It got to
so good.
It got to Phat. But the thing is, here's the deal. In other words, it does not end happily for some of them, but it ends happily for the village, and it ends happily for filmmakers and film lovers everywhere.
Especially of samurai movies.
Right. Yeah. This is one of the best that I've seen in decades.
It's going on my top 10 for sure. Yeah. And you guys, if you want to buy it right now, it's actually on Blu-ray and 4K right now. I'm definitely going to be buying the 4K, and you guys can watch it digitally as well. So
it works for everybody. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
And now,
all right, it's Frank time.
Really?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but that's right, of course, Frank. It's your turn.
Hold on. We got some comments here. Let's see. Let me catch up to it really quick here. There we go. Ballerina is the best of the John Wick universe. OGP chiming in right here. Look at that. Thomas in the house. What's good, crew? Good to see you. There you go. I have not seen Karate Kid Legends yet. Rick has talked about it on a previous episode. That's right.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I already know what to think about it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's worth seeing.
Now. Oh, I forgot to mention with Soul Reaper, great final confrontation at the end of that horror film. Really enjoyed that. All right, now it is time for the Frankinator to talk about his adventures in the cinema. Frank, which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's do Ballerina first, because since we have a comment about Ballerina.
All right, Frank. Everyone's been. I'm fired. I know I'm fired, but work has been having me do all these extra hours. It's been so
you
hard.
have not seen it?
I haven't seen it. No, I know.
No, leave that poor boy alone. We've all seen it.
Yeah.
We're here for him now. We are going to take care of him.
Everyone's been messaging me. The best John Wick movie. It's better than John Wick 4, better than John Wick 3. It's the best in the series. So I'm like, wow, that's a lot of hype. Frank, did it live up to the hype?
Well,
what did you think of it?
Well, let me put it this way. Since you haven't seen it, but the good news is it's now on iTunes. It's available. It's now available digitally on demand, starting today, July 1st. And I guess that's also the bad news because, wow, it came on digital on demand so quickly.
Let me interrupt.
Yes,
and quickly
please.
say that everyone who I've talked to has seen this, has liked it. The reviews have been good, and it's still made 2/3 less than the previous one. Nobody went to see it. So that's why I'm not surprised it's already available, because everybody at the studio is going, why didn't people go?
Yeah.
And that was my question as well. Why didn't it? And also that's true, spoiler alert, that's true of Megan 2.0 as well. Reviews have been great. Everyone who's seen it liked it. For some reason, they didn't tell their friends to go see it.
Yeah.
That so it's like something's going. Same thing with Thunderbolts. Same thing with a variety of things. We're in a really weird time of cinema. But if you see it, you'll like it. But they're going to be putting it out quickly onto streaming so they can make some money off of it, because they figure everybody who does see it likes it.
Right. Well, I might watch it out. I might watch it today, Frank, since you told me that news.
Yeah, and also I'm glad you pointed out, right? Because Superman, when they first started selling tickets for Superman, I thought, wow, they're probably going to be selling out pretty quickly, right? I was able to get tickets to the preview screening night, no problem. I was very surprised. I thought, people would be waiting to buy tickets to see that, at least for the opening weekend. But no, it was very easy for me to buy tickets for preview night.
Yeah, the studios have to figure out how to get the youngsters into the theater, because for guys like me, I'm still hooked on Christopher Reeve Superman. I'm looking at this every single thing I've seen from the new Superman. I just do this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Ballerina was a good movie, except as I've mentioned to you guys, they did something at the beginning of this movie that thrilled me, and then they didn't follow through. And if they had followed through, maybe people would have gone to the theater. No, I don't think so. But even so, there's a moment at the beginning during her training, because of course, Ana de Armas is awesome. She has great energy. She's the best thing about No Time to Die. And absolutely, they should have done a whole series of movies with that character while they're waiting for the new James Bond. But at the beginning of this one, but she's still a little tiny person. And at the beginning of this one, when she starts their training, she has a female trainer. And the female trainer says the magic words. And I got all excited. The magic words were, fight like a girl.
Yep.
And I went, I've been waiting all my life to hear somebody say that in a movie. And then, and as immediately following her, the trainer telling her that, she does. And then forgets about it. For the rest of the movie, she's doing the same stupid bull, which is, yeah, I'm a 5'6" girl, 90 pounds, and I'm going to make a fist and hit people. Now, she puts a lot of energy into it, so it's convincing.
Okay.
But still, I mean, convincing that she might get away with it. But how much better would it have been if throughout the movie there was a moment during the fights, and there are a lot of fights, and they're good. But but I'm waiting for the moment where she is forced to fight like a girl.
Yeah.
And that would have been, and you know, I'm just waiting. Get the eyes, get the throat,
Get the balls.
get the balls.
Well, I got to throw this up again. I'm sorry. Is this 2 flamethrowers?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, the
flamethrower fight.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
That's the
what's going
best
on
part
right
of the
now?
film. Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Oh, I have to watch this.
That was awesome. The whole second half was awesome. It's like you get this Resident Evil vibe where it's really like in some point, it's really, in some point, it's like a video game.
Exactly.
The whole second half is like a video game sequence, which is fantastic.
Well, like
action fantastic. Cinematography is wonderful. Music is great.
Cool.
I thought the opening could be a little bit faster in terms of pacing, especially like, the scene where Winston first met her. I thought that scene just went on a bit too long. It's like, cut the bullshit, just get to the point, recruit her, and I just felt that they spent a little bit more time than they should have at the beginning. But once it gets going,
you know why? Because Len Wiseman was the director.
Right.
And Len Wiseman is not a good director. And do you know the story behind the story?
I know. Well, tell me more.
Well, the choreographer of the director of Chad Stahelski, the director of the John Wick movies, he came into this and went, "Oh no. Well, we're gonna have to do reshoots." So So basically, the second half, we're all pretty much certain that that's Chad. And the first half, they just sort of sat in the editing room going, how are we going to put this together? Well, don't take too much time. Just sort of just do whatever you have to fill up the time. And then they ran out of time. They had to get into the theaters. But
But is it better than the last 2 John Wick movies?
Yes.
Well, I disagree with that. I disagree.
It's not better than the first 2, but it's better than the last 2.
No, I liked the last 2 a lot.
I like the last 2 too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I like them. But if I had to rank them, I'd still
don't need
put
to
Ballerina
compare them.
third.
Yeah. But still, that's still high praise. So that's already that's enough to go see it. That's a good movie.
They're better than virtually all of the Fast and Furious movies.
That's a no-brainer.
All right.
I like the world building, especially the second half, because once we find out exactly who she's up against.
Yeah.
My only gripe is there was a particular character that's attached to her that I would have liked to see more from. She got taken out way too soon, and I would have liked to see a lot more with that character.
Again, because that was the bad editing. That was the mix-up, and it's also a shame. That's why I hope everybody that you, Preston, everybody watches the movie so they can make some money off of this, so they can give her the sequel she deserves.
Yep.
Is this going to affect Kane?
I think so.
We're afraid it might.
God
think it
damn
might.
it.
Again, it depends on how it does in streaming.
Right. Right.
If they make their money back, because at this point they
Okay.
haven't made enough money to get back their budget. So why do another one?
This might
Wasn't-
kill. This might kill on streaming
Wasn't
and
Kane
physical
supposed
media.
to come before Ballerina though?
No, well, maybe not. At this point they're juggling, but at this point they're still planning to do Kane, and of course directed by Donnie himself. So
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
there's-
that's gonna be. Yeah,
I'm happy.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm happy with any Zatoichi movie I can get.
I think that they were looking at this film to judge. I mean, I think they're looking at this film as a gauge to see whether they should move forward with Kane. And I think with the less than stellar box office of Ballerina, I think they are going to have second thoughts about moving
man.
forward.
But well, that's the problem, because it's got great reviews. So on that, if it was Disney who was doing this, Disney can take the reviews of Thunderbolts and make hay with that. But unfortunately, the other studios, don't have, except Universal, don't have an amusement park to back up their coffers. So they're going to have to make the decision based on how many people see it, and now hopefully on streaming too. By the way, did you know the name of the action choreographer in Ballerina? I just love this name. He did Thunderbolts too. His name is Caleb Spillyards. Caleb Spillyards. I couldn't use that name in one of my books. Spillyards.
I mean, we talk about the budget. I also wonder whether that's one reason for the delay on the last Fast and Furious film, because supposedly each subsequent Fast and Furious film make less money than Fast 9 and Fast 10 both made less money than not only Fast 8, but also made less money than Hop and
yeah, and Vin
Hobbs and Shaw, yeah.
Hop and Shaw, yeah.
And Vin is in a between a rock and a hard place, because he can't afford to do something cheaper, literally, emotionally.
Family.
So stop. Anyway.
Well, all right. So everyone, you had me at flamethrower fight.
Yeah.
So,
Fly like a girl.
So go see it in theaters if you can. If not, definitely
do streaming. It's not in theaters anymore.
Watch it on streaming then. Definitely check it out on streaming. All right, Frank, F1.
F1, is really his version of Top Gun. This is like the
same director.
Same director, yeah. Well, same director as Top Gun Maverick, right?
Right.
Who I love because I like his work on Oblivion, Tom Cruise's sci-fi film.
Right.
And also he did Tron. I think he did Tron Legacy. I think.
That's right.
Right. So, but anyway, definitely, this is the film that you have to watch in IMAX. It was shot with IMAX camera and made for IMAX. It's just standard old-fashioned Hollywood film, and it's really the kind of film that we don't see that often anymore. You have predictable plot, you have predictable characterization. That you can see the ending a mile away, you see the bad guy a mile away, but still, it was entertaining and had a good time. It was a long film, but it didn't feel long. And credits to the filmmakers. And I thought Brad Pitt looked great at 62. And of course, the car racing scenes are fantastic.
They're all real.
They're all real. They're all real. They actually race doing the F1 games. Brad Pitt and the other guy, the black kid. So those are actual racing footage that they shot while they were driving their own cars. Now, I guess my only complaint was I wish that they had longer shots of those racing scenes, instead of just cutting so quickly to another shot. Can you show me just one long shot of them on the racetrack? That's all I asked for, and they didn't do that. But other than that, definitely worth seeing in the theater. Definitely worth seeing in IMAX. Yeah.
If you like racing,
cool.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best racing movies.
Yes.
Nice. Better than Gran Turismo, or is it a totally different type of movie?
Oh, better than Gran Turismo. Oh, come on. Yeah.
I actually liked Rush a lot.
I like Rush.
Rush was good. Yeah.
Rush was good.
Yeah, pretty good.
I think in terms of story, though, I thought Ford versus Ferrari was better than this. This one, the story just a little bit cliche, a little bit more.
This is a racing movie. Racing movie.
Yeah.
Ford versus Ferrari was different, but yeah, it's still worth seeing.
Are we sticking with cinemas, Rick, or do you want to go to Prime?
Oh, are you all set, Frank? Is that the ones you know?
I'm done. These are the only two I've seen. So yeah.
Okay, then let's go back. Let's go back to TV. And TV is Amazon Prime. And this is a great timing. Here we go. I met Cynthia Rothrock at the premiere, the American Film Market premiere of China O'Brien 1. That's where I met her. And we have been friends ever since. And here's the deal. Friends first, critic second. Cynthia Rothrock has had a wonderful career, done wonderful things. She decided that she didn't have the kind of power she liked on the films she made. So she devised a movie that she wanted to make, that she produced. She helped with the writing. She starred. And it is now out.
Yes.
On streaming.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Black Creek. You can get it on Amazon Prime. And she loves it. It's her baby. And I got news. Like I said, I'm a friend of hers.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go up to my friend's baby and say, gee, I think its ears should be smaller. I'm not going to do that. And in fact, when I started in my writing career and also in my Kung Fu career, I'm known as the anvil, because if you ask my opinion, I'll give it to you. Because I want you to succeed. I want you to be as good as you can be. But if you don't want my opinion, don't ask for it. And also, at the time, I literally lost friends because I told them what I thought of them. I thought of their, not of them, but of their books. And not because I said this sucks. I would say, well, this could be better. This could be whatever. But I always knew I was in trouble when the other person started defending themselves, saying, well, I wrote that for this reason. That actually just happened. I was doing a copy editing job for somebody, and I told him what I think he should do to make it better. And he went, and then he started to defend him. And I said, look, if you don't want my opinion, don't take it. But don't defend yourself. I'm telling you what I say. But anyway. So long story short, too late. I'm not reviewing this movie. I am going to let you review the movie. If you like Cynthia Rothrock and you want to, and by the way, amazing cast, Benny the Jet Guidez, the great Don the Dragon Wilson, and it may have been the last film of the great Richard Norton.
Yes, yes.
Keith Cook. It got a lot of great pedigree.
Yeah.
So you see it, you tell me what you think.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it. And I know all Cynthia Rothrock fans are going to check it out. OGP's like, it's out. He's going to watch it tonight. You guys can watch it on Amazon Prime. It was great having her here on the show and interviewing her. Trailer looks great. Tons of action. So I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. And, we always support independent cinema here on the channel. That's what we're all about. So definitely check it out, guys.
Now,
all right.
This one's a lot easier. Deep Cover. It is as you can see, Bryce Dallas Howard, Orlando Bloom, Nick Mohammed, who I love, Patty Constantine, Ian McShane, and Sean Bean. What a great cast. But look down underneath the cover, the O of cover. What do you see?
Prime.
It's a Prime original movie.
Dun, dun, dun.
Uh-oh.
Those are Rick's favorites.
This is a trim. Well, I wish it was. I wish it was everybody's favorites. Even people, I've been told, even people at Amazon are going, why are all movies soft? Why isn't this more successful? Why isn't this better? I mean, with this cast, this should have been better. The concept, I was amazed. I said, I'm going to give it a chance. I love Nick Mohammed. It was great to see Orlando Bloom again. And the first half hour of this is, yeah, just like I said, you should watch the Welgo and HI-yah movies to see how to make action movies. You should watch these movies to see how not to make a action comedy. The first half hour is, as far as I'm concerned, the first half hour, especially nowadays, is the most important.
Cynthia, is she here?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Rick to finish.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I'll put it on screen.
Let's put it on screen.
Okay. Cynthia's here in the house. There we go.
Oh,
there we go. I told you she loves this.
Yeah. Overwhelming positive reviews. That's right.
That's right.
So make sure you guys definitely check out Black Creek. There we go.
Is it just on Prime, or is it on Blu-ray and stuff like that too?
I don't know if it's getting a physical release yet. Cynthia, let us know in the comments.
No, let's put it this way. I am one of the contributors to Black Creek.
Okay.
And I knew that I will get a Blu-ray, so a Blu-ray will become
nice. All right.
But you can see it tonight on a variety. All you have to do is type it into Google, and it'll tell you the places you can see it.
Right.
I had the last time I checked, it had at least 3 options. And by the way, Cynthia, do you want to do another interview for the San Diego Comic-Con this year?
Yes,
that'd
be great.
And if even though I hear you're going to be out of the country, if you're going to be around, we also have a booth for you to sign.
Yeah, let us know, Cynthia. We'd love to have you again for Comic-Con and at least get that interview up there. Keep Black Creek going. There you go. And let her know, guys. Let her know. Message Cynthia herself. Let her know what you think of the movie.
Oh, God, please. Let me know what you think. Yes.
Yes. Action martial arts westerns. Let's go. So deep cover, Rick. Garbage.
No, it's not garbage. However, but the first half hour is a textbook example of how not to make a movie.
Man, I didn't even recognize Bryce there for a second. So wow.
No, she looks great.
Yeah.
It's a really clever idea, which they ruin because they stretch it out. It's not witty. I mean, once they establish the characters, they have to reestablish the characters apparently every time they show up on screen. I'm going, yes, we know. You don't have to keep telling us. Get to the action, get to the fun, get to the comedy.
Yeah.
By the end of it, I felt bad for them. Because with that cast and that idea, should have been great. It was not. It was, Tom Kingsley is the director, and he's only done commercials and videos and 1 episode of Doctor Who. And the Doctor Who this year has been awful. So
I didn't even see 1 single episode this season. Okay.
And also, the movie was written by the guy who wrote Jurassic World. And again, Will Dent was, for what it's worth, Will Dent was the fight coordinator. Because he was the stunt rigger on No Time to Die as well. So the pedigree was great. But I don't know what happened in the editing room.
Right.
Wow.
Well, we got some more love for Black Creek here. There we go. True West Magazine, biggest Western magazine of all times, says Black Creek is the best Western movie streaming right now in 2025. So check it out, guys.
There's a new movie called The Unholy Trinity.
How was
that? Not as good as Black Creek.
Look at that.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan and Samuel L. Jackson. If you want to see that, watch those 2 as a double feature and you'll go, yeah, Cynthia. Yeah, baby. Keep up the good work.
Copy that. We're going to keep the martial arts action going here. I really enjoyed this. A big, huge fan of the director, Ernesto. Shout out to him. And you guys know these guys. What? Scott Adkins versus Marco Zaror. Every time this happens, it's gold. Undisputed 3. I mean, let's go. But really, really enjoyed Diablo. And Rick, this might be my new favorite character from Marco Zaror.
I'm telling you.
He steals every single scene in this movie.
And several of the actresses. He steals several of the actresses as well. Yeah, Ernest Diaz Espinosa was the director. Scott and Marco are the co-stars. They're also co-writers. Scott is a producer, and Marco choreographed it. And he came up with a character for himself that is incredible.
Yes.
And spoiler alert, they leave room for a sequel.
Yes. I'm so happy.
and me too, because I'm looking forward to talking to Ernesto and Marco and Scott about where they could go with this. Because, man, the fights in this movie are exceptional.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, again, because it's a low-budget film and they have to stretch it out to 90 minutes, they do a little playing for time. But they do a great job of doing it because they're all there. Everybody's on the set all the time doing the best they can. But those fights are great. And again, Marco choreographed them. Yeah. And he plays, what did I call him? A twisted Terminator.
Yeah. Twisted Terminator.
Twisted Terminator.
I mean, there's a scene where his character clears out this entire club by himself.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. But every time he's on screen, you're quiet.
He's literally and figuratively scary.
Yeah, so good.
He's scary.
So good. Yeah.
And the only thing my one disappointment was I was looking forward to the ending to play out in a certain way, and then I went, oh, it didn't play out that way, and then I realized, oh yeah, they couldn't afford to do that. They couldn't afford to do what I want them to do. And when you see it, I don't think there'll be any question as you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
just
Highly recommend.
Pretty darn good. And believe me, since you'll be able to see it on streaming, feel free to fast forward to the fights. Everybody does a great job, but the fights are exceptional.
Oh yeah. Now, Rick, I was a huge I enjoyed the first season of the game with squids. And I didn't get around to watching second season and all the stuff after that. And I'm hearing there's a dip in quality. What's going on with Squid Game 3?
Again, I don't understand anybody who goes, oh, there's a dip in quality in the third movie or the third show. And I'm going, duh. I mean, especially a project like Squid Game that is so high concept. When I come in, yes, go ahead.
Just a quick question, because I started watching because I was like Samurai. I had not kept up, so I started watching season 2 because I knew season 3 was out. I got about 3 episodes in season 2, and I was bored to tears. So my question for you, obviously, is 3 better than 2? Because that's all I care about.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
But again, I will make it clear. You know what I do with series, because I have to watch movies all the time. I watch the first episode and I watch the last episode. And so the third one, it's powerful. It has a goal. It has an end game. And as such, it's worthwhile. But again, anybody surprised by its end game, I point back to Squid Game 1 and go, duh. Yeah, you think it's going to end happy?
Yeah, right.
Okay. But it's honorable. It's well done.
Okay.
It's powerful. It's better than 2.
Okay.
And,
well, that's good.
And stop being silly. That the third one should be better than. I mean, you guys are spoiled. Name something where the third one's better than the first one.
Right.
You could do it on the fingers of one hand, if that.
Yeah. Right.
But it's better than 2, which is why we're including it here.
Okay. Now, Rick, I know who Cyril Gahn is.
You do.
I follow his fight career. Kickboxer, mixed martial artist in the UFC.
Yeah.
I think this is his acting debut. Now, I saw the trailer. No, it's not. Okay. I saw the trailer for this movie.
Yeah.
And I was surprised he was actually showing like some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, Anubis? He's not boring. Because his interviews, his fight interviews to sell his fights suck.
Yeah. You're saying he showed some charisma.
There you go. Thank you. So how was KO?
KO was great.
No way.
It's a movie, and what this guy is, I'm Cyril. How do you pronounce the last name?
Cyril Gahn.
Gane. I'm going to say Gane because he's French.
Okay, that's fine.
Cyril Gane. He is the French Don Lee.
Really? Okay.
You know who Don Lee is?
Well, yeah, we all know. Yeah.
You know me. Yeah. I'm not crazy over punchy.
Okay.
But I love Don Lee. And
right.
Now I love Cyril Gane.
No way. Go ahead, Cyril.
He is awesome. He's an absolute sweetheart in this. He communicates just great energy. He's immediately likable, and he is the best screen puncher since Don Lee. I want them in a movie together.
Nice.
I loved these fight scenes, and you know me, I don't like punchy.
Right.
But this guy's punchy. A matter of fact, I watched it twice to watch the punchy, and just the energy is just terrific.
I was waiting for you to say. I was waiting for you to go, Fat, it's badass, so you'll like it, but it wasn't for me. That's what I was waiting for you to say.
Well, let me put it. Actually, what I was originally going to say is,
okay,
Fat, it's badass, so you'll like it, but so did I.
That's awesome. All right.
Very worthwhile.
Copy that. Who directed and did the action?
It's Antoine Blozier.
Okay. Blozier.
and I could not find a fight choreographer. I could only find a stunt arranger.
Okay.
But all I
All
can
right.
tell you is that they're French.
All right, KO. Let's go. Now
Very good.
I'm sold for this next one just on the body count in the back. Look, Anubis, look at the bodies. Look at the bodies.
That's
All
some
right.
bodies there.
There we go. The bodies hit the floor right there. Rick, how was
Yeah.
Mercy for None?
Let's put it this way. Look at everything. Bring that poster back up. It says a Netflix series. It says a world built on blood. And then it says Mercy for None. I can assure you out there in action film autopsy land that they don't lie. There is no lie on any of that poster.
Nice.
Mercy, it's a world built on blood. It is Mercy for None. I would have preferred it had it been a movie, because unfortunately, I think it's 7 to 9 episodes. I can't remember. But
Okay.
the point is that, yes, of course, 3, 4, 5, they start repeating. You know, they could have cut at least 3 episodes out. It's still, they're still good, and you still might enjoy them. However, you know, let's go. It's a Korean, and it's interesting because we'll be running into this again. For some reason, this movie and especially another movie, all these movies, all these new Korean movies seemed, apparently the government said, we have too many tourists coming to South Korea. Could you do something to keep tourists from coming to South Korea? We need to lower the tourism in South Korea.
No.
And the filmmakers are all going, oh yeah, we'll do that. And so Mercy for None, and especially, we're not talking about it this time, but it's for something else. There's a movie called The Old Lady with the Knife, which is like, this is like designed, you know, you see it and go, I am never going to South Korea. This place is a hell pit. And same with Mercy for None. And I'm used to, and now we're jumping onto something else that's great for Korea, but fascinatingly not made by Koreans. Are we going on to, yeah, we're going on to K-pop Demon Hunters, which is just great. It's great.
You sent me the trailer, Rick. I was busting up laughing. I was cracking up. It's a lot of fun.
It's made by Chris Applehans, who did Wish Dragon, and co-directed. It's a couple, Chris Applehans and Maggie Kang. Maggie worked on Minions: Rise of Gru, so I can say that we semi-worked together. And she also worked on Grinch. She also worked on Shrek. And they obviously love K-pop. And of course, the K-pop guys or Koreans just want to make these movies to keep tourists from coming. So here we have these two Americans who made this delightful, amazing, funny, entertaining, tuneful, emotional, beautifully animated, beautifully designed K-pop Demon Hunters movie.
Was it the studio that did the Spider-Verse films? They were involved with this? Oh, wow.
It's the, what are they called? I know the name. I'm blanking on the name of the animation studio.
That's cool, though. They were involved.
Oh, yeah. They're all just this. I saw that twice, too. I watched K-pop. And also I'm watching all the TikToks. They're doing all the TikTokers are taking the animated characters and turning them into, you know, real AI characters. And I'm just, ooh, it's so cute. Ooh, it's so cute. And they have these wonderful takes, the animated takes. And I checked, and it's amazing to me because I said, this is great. Why haven't I heard of any other great Korean animated movies? And I looked up on Google, you know, the top 10, the most successful Korean animated movies. I had not heard of a single one. And I pride myself on keeping up with animation. I love animation. You know, I worked on Minions. I worked on Kung Fu Panda. I thought I knew them all. But they had the top 10 Korean animated movies. Hadn't heard of one of them. So, yeah, come on, guys. K-pop Demon Hunters sequels. Let's go.
Let's go.
Now I gotta blow up the cat now.
Yay.
Who is that?
Little Nico.
Oh, adorable.
Now put a tarantula on her head, so it'll be the perfect DP Anubis thing.
She's always
Adorable.
got a tarantula.
Adorable. Yes.
Yeah.
Omnibass
Now
is returned as a channel member. Thank you so much, Omni. Love you. Thank you so much.
now
And you get a sumo.
What is that?
That's Sexy Sumo. That was for Omniblast. Thank you so much for being a channel member, Omni.
Oh my God.
I thought there was a mouse in my room.
I love this show. Anyway, and
All right.
now that we're talking about animation, let's go to Disney Plus or /Hulu. And
Yes.
Hulu has another exceptional animated movie. Exceptional. It is called Predator, Killer of Killers. And it's
Oh, yeah.
It's by the same guy who did Prey, and it's also by the same guy who's doing the live action, the Predator Badlands. I think it's called Badlands. That's coming out this November.
Yes.
But this is an animated movie, while those two, the other two movies were. And man, he has got his handle on the Predator world. This guy is doing everything I wanted the Alien guys to do. But unfortunately, the Alien guys are all about, humans are scum and we hate them, and we're going to make you, the viewer, feel terrible. But Predator, Killer of Killers, it's a 3-part animated film. The concept is that the Predator characters are going throughout history and finding the killers from history and challenging themselves against them. And so there's one section in the era of the great Swedish Vikings and world travelers. There's one of the best ninja segments. They have a ninja segment. And even though they don't portray the other side of ninjas, which I always want somebody to do, because most of the time ninjas are not in black. Whenever they get into those black outfits, their little superhero outfits, they're doing something unique and special that they don't normally like to do, which is, they're trying to infiltrate a place. For the most part, the ninja like turning into someone else and infiltrating without having to go onto the black suit and threaten their own lives or other people's lives. But of course, that's what movies and American movies like. But here, on the basis of my research, and I've researched for decades on the ninja to make my how many did I do? I did 16 Ninja Master novels, still my best-selling books. And I researched it in Japan, not from people who said they were ninja, because as soon as they said they were ninja, I knew they would never teach me anything. Real ninja don't do that. Ninja would rather rip off their own heads than tell you anything. But all these guys, of course, want to make money. So I learned it from professors and students and, all this stuff. But they got all the details right. And then the final segment is in World War II.
Yeah, I was thinking of you during the Ninja and Samurai section, because I was like, holy shit, he used to be, he was posing as a farmer.
Right.
Like, the brother was posing as a farmer, but he was but he was a ninja. He had a straight sword instead of a samurai katana. I was thinking about you. I was like, oh, Rick's gonna love this.
His brother's a samurai too, so they really show the difference between the samurai. The ninja were created by samurai to do the dishonorable things the samurai couldn't do, because they would lose their place in heaven. But the ninja were willing to do that. And here they had all the details accurate, but also they have all the details accurate in the World War II segment, because I just found out that the 5 World War II novels that I wrote in the series called Mac Wingate, written by Brian Swift, who was me, and a couple of other guys, that all the Mac Wingate novels are available on Amazon for, I think, $1.50 each in downloadable with brand new covers. And I'm really looking forward to rereading these again, because I did these back in the 80s or 90s. So again, and I did all the research, and the research on Killer of Killers is just exceptional. And they're all exciting, and they're all emotional, and they're all smart, and they have a Predator accurate ending, which had a couple of, they had a moment. They had two moments at the ending where I went, "Oh!" So it was like,
very,
really,
very interesting take. I don't know how I felt
Yeah.
about it at first because I was kind of like, they do that with their warriors, okay, their
Yeah.
opponents. But
To
it's an interesting new take, and I'm
Yeah.
willing to give it a shot and see where they go with it.
They're gonna go. They're gonna.
But I want an action figure, Anubis, of the King Predator at the end of the final
Yeah.
segment, who had xenomorph bone tail braids. Get out of here, man! I want a statue.
Great stuff.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
great visual storytelling too. I think the second segment barely had any dialogue.
Yeah,
It was so good.
I mean, just terrific.
All
Again,
right, next up, Rick.
What do we got?
Honest thoughts. Honest thoughts.
Go ahead.
Of Ironheart.
Oh,
Did you hear my? Did you hear my?
I've heard one particular thing about this that I did not like.
What did you hear, DJ?
They took some sort of shot at Iron Man about his privilege and him having all the money and her not having that.
I didn't have that problem.
Okay.
I had other problems.
Okay.
That's
fine too.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Oh no, Omniblast. Tag in Omniblast. Oh boy. Here's the deal. I grew up. I was alive when Marvel started. I saw Amazing Fantasy 15. I bought it in the corner store. I got the first Fantastic Four. I bought the first 50 issues of all the major Marvel. It helped me through my childhood and college. And so I've loved it. And of course, I've always said that they accomplished something unheard of in the history of cinema. And the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, in their wisdom, not only didn't mention it, not only didn't award them for doing that run from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, but didn't even mention it. And so I love these guys. They gave me 10 years of extraordinary entertainment. They filled my heart and my soul. They showed everybody the right way to do it. And also, all these people are complaining about that, they can't fill the theaters. Well, these guys filled the theaters for a decade with 22 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are just completely screwing the pooch. I mean, Ironheart brought it all into focus for me that they can't create a new character in the shadow of another character. I know why they're doing it, because they think they have to, because it's not Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige's smarter than this. It's got to be that Chapek, Bob Chapek, and also the studio guys. And you see, because for 10 years he was untouchable. The bad guys couldn't get to Kevin Feige. They couldn't force him to do stuff he didn't want to do. But then when the strikes happened and when the COVID happened, then they started saying, oh, now you got to do this now. You got to give us more material. We need it. We need it. We need it. And then the quality started eroding. And then the movies were not well conceived. Rather than introducing one guy a movie, they introduced 12 guys in one movie. And again, it had no, and then they introduced the multiverse. And again, as my quote, when anything is possible, nothing is interesting. And so now Ironheart put the last nail in their coffin and my heart, which is, it's a good show. They're doing the best they can. But I don't care.
Okay.
I just don't care anymore. I mean, Thunderbolts, I appreciate it, but then Thunderbolts gave me another clue as to why it's not working, which is they're all second characters. Every single character in the Thunderbolts is affiliated to a bigger character. And so if you put out a TV movie of that, it might have worked. But putting it out as a feature film, it's not going to make the money you need it to make. You cannot spend the money you make on your big pictures on a second tier picture. And they weren't brave enough. They should have killed Julia Louis-Dreyfus at the end of the movie. And So of course I'll still go see everything. I'll still watch it all. But now I'm just going to take what I can get. So yeah.
Copy that. Sounds like a pass.
It
sounds like a pass.
And it adds and it's also a series. So yeah, first episode, last episode. Actually, not
just skip to the end.
Don't even do the first episode. Just go to the last episode.
Just go to the last episode. There you go. All right. Next up, Elio.
Same problem.
Uh-oh.
In that, back in the day when I did my lecture at Walt Disney Animation Studios, they were making Raya and the Last Dragon, and they were making a movie called Strange Days. And Strange Days was another one of their weak science fiction films. Years before that, I was invited to visit Disney many, many, many years before that. And because I did my science fiction novel, Doomstar, and Return to Doomstar, and Disney expressed interest in animating that. And instead, they didn't animate that. We had a wonderful meeting. They didn't buy my book, but they stole ideas from my book and put it into their Treasure Planet. They put it in there, so I keep on recognizing their science fiction stuff. And their science fiction stuff is not strong. And Strange Days and Lightyear. Lightyear is one of the worst ones they ever made. And so Elio is much better than all of those movies put together. But they don't have the audience for it. And they're complaining because, again, they have the same problem that Megan 2.0 had. And the other movies that didn't, and Ballerina had. Nobody went. Everyone who saw it liked it. And they may have told their friends that it was good. But nobody went. And so that'll be on Disney Plus very, very soon. And I would recommend that you watch it. It's sweet.
Okay.
But it's one of their science fiction ones. And they shouldn't do those. Anyway.
So this should have been a Disney. This went to theaters, right?
Yep. Only in theaters.
So this should have been a Disney Plus exclusive, maybe.
Yeah, but again, it probably costs too much because that's what everybody's saying. Pixar has to lower its budgets.
Right.
Because they're just not making enough money now with these.
Well, speaking of bad Disney bootleg live action remakes, I'm hearing this is not one of them. Or is it?
Well, this has something in common with Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch, the live action, which we talked about, which just looks like it was filmed on somebody's iPhone, except it would look better. It would look better on an iPhone. But it was hugely successful. People went to see it. Hugely successful.
That's sad.
And no, it's not sad. It shows that it has an audience. The kids wanted to see it, and the parents wanted to bring their kids to the movie theaters. And Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon are both great movies. The original movies, I love the animated Lilo and Stitch. I love How to Train Your Dragon. The guy who directed How to Train Your Dragon live action, I'm putting it in quotes. The same one who directed the animated one directed the live action. And that was Dean DeBlois. He directed, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. He directed the live action one, except it's not live action, it's live action. In other words, the dragon looks exactly the same. As you can see, looks exactly the same. Even the human looks like he's kind of animated. And the movie is basically scene by scene, shot by shot from the original animation.
Oh God.
But the people who went to see it hadn't seen the animated one.
Oh.
Or if they saw it, they wanted to see it in the theaters. So the parents was able to bring them, and it also did extremely well. So now DreamWorks has the magic formula. Don't try, guys. Just redo it. Just wait until it's long enough that the audience changes. That's another thing that always bothered me about the people who condemn the Disney live action remakes. It's like, I'm saying, yeah, enough time has passed that if they make a good movie, the kids will like it because the kids want to go see it. But if they don't make it good enough, so Lilo and Stitch, which it was a Disney, they did it right, and so did How to Train Your Dragon. There you go.
Recommendation.
And
all right, this next one, Rick, is this another G20?
Oh.
Is this another G20, or is it actually better?
All I needed to see.
This is Anubis' most anticipated film of the year, by the way. This is
it. I will tell you.
Sure.
This was a great idea.
Okay.
As a cheap little fun, exciting movie. But all I needed to see was the name of the director. The director is Simon West. His first three movies made more than he's one of the few directors whose first three movies made more than $100 million. But from that moment on, he went into the tank. And he made General's Daughter. He made Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
The second one, yeah.
Yeah, it just, all his movies since his third, from his fourth on, have been like, literally, what are you thinking? And this is, again, this is a really nice idea. It's, the Bridesmaids, which the star was in, Rebel Wilson was in Bridesmaids. And so this Bridesmaids meets Die Hard. How bad could that be? Don't go see it to find out. Because, again, I'm watching it like, how could you screw this up? How could you screw this up?
Are they all assassins? Are they agents? Or
she's guess. She's not an assassin. She's the other thing that these people are, which is she's a secret agent.
Okay.
She's a secret agent at a wedding where they're taken over, but it's Die Hard.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because Bruce Willis was not an assassin in Die Hard.
Right.
He was a cop, and she's a secret agent. But yeah,
so not even funny. The action sucks.
It's
no good.
Painful. It's so painfully poor. Made me sad.
All right.
And the guy who did the action was Adam Lytle, who also was on the fight team for Ballerina.
Oh.
So the action can't really be faulted, but the editing can. And you can leave that at the feet of Simon West.
All right. Next up, we have the Phoenician Scheme.
Benicio.
Has anybody else seen this?
No.
Nope.
I would love to, but I didn't see it. No.
Let me ask you guys, everybody, all three of you.
Okay.
Give me a genre you think this movie is in. Take it one at a time. Ask me, is it a? Go ahead, Frank.
Satire.
Yes.
Dark comedy.
DJ.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be something similar to what the Johnny Depp film was, where he's like drinking alcohol a lot or something. I forget the name of it, but yeah, it just looks like a dark comedy type of film.
Okay, so do you have another? Let me put it this way: you could have named any genre, and the answer would have been yes.
Wow. Okay.
It is listed. It lists itself. The studio lists it as a spy action comedy crime drama thriller. And I got news for you. It's more than that. It's also a romance. It's also, it's a drama. It's a family drama, but it's also a family comedy. It's got a spectacularly great cast. It's got spectacularly great design. Every single this is the only, Wes Anderson, I've always been like this with Wes Anderson.
I figured it looked like a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah. It's Wes Anderson is the only movies I cannot look away from. Because if I try to fast forward, I'll miss something. And not just something, I'll miss a lot. Because every single shot is like, ooh, ooh, ooh. He's able to do what Stanley Kubrick did with Barry Lyndon, except much more entertainingly. Because Barry Lyndon was slow. This thing is fast and sharp and funny and snappy and just, name it. it does it. And also he does stuff in this. This is an action movie. That's why I included it, because something happens in the first scene that Wes Anderson has never done before. And it made me, take the poster off for a second. It made me do this. Did I just, did that? And what was great is that Benicio del Toro, who's playing the star, he's in the front of the shot. And what happens is in the back of the shot, he's in the front left. What happens is the back right. And he has the same reaction as I do. But in other words, I don't see, he just turns, he turns and looks and then turns back. And I'm like, and that just allows me to see, yeah, Wes Anderson actually did that, which is something he had never done before. Again, I don't want to oversell it, but I can't oversell it. It's a unique film. I mean, it's all these things and more, and just fun. And also at the end of the movie, they have a great fight scene between Benicio del Toro and Benedict Cumberbatch.
What?
Benedict Cumberbatch,
oh my goodness,
dressed up as Rasputin the Mad Monk.
Sold.
Actually kind of a cross between Sherlock Holmes and Rasputin the Mad
Sold.
Monk.
All right.
Oh, just such a great
Cool.
movie. I love that movie.
All right. Next up, we have Megan 2 hours long.
Megan is. I didn't have a problem. The people again. The same thing happened to Megan that happened to everything else we've been talking about, Ballerina and all the.
Yeah.
In that people went to see it, and those who saw it liked it. They didn't love it, but they liked it. But then when they went and told people about it, people, basically, and then today, this is a Blumhouse movie.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Blum went on a podcast that I frequent, The Town it's called, because he heard what the host of The Town said about this. And he said, I'm going to do what no other producer will do. I'm going to come on this and talk about what went wrong.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So was the host. But he was very honest about the thing, and he was very smart about the whole thing, which is why he's been so successful up until now. And he realized that they got too excited, and they changed Megan Part 1 from a horror comedy or horror thriller into Terminator. They made her Terminator 2. They made her the hero.
Right.
Yeah, there we go, Jake. That's exactly right. And a lot of people agreed with you. They're probably not going to make the money back on streaming because the fans of Megan 1 are fans of a genre which Megan 2 is not.
Right.
And also my problem, we run into that fight like a girl issue with me when I saw it, because I was saying, if you're going to do what you did, then exaggerate. Make it bigger than this. Don't try to play it safe once you've made the decision into making her bigger, stronger, faster.
Right.
Because if you have the opportunity to make her bigger, stronger, faster, make her really big, really strong, really fast.
Right.
I mean, in other words, thrill the audience. So,
Mm-hmm.
so they can't just say, oh, I was disappointed because it's not like the first one. They said, but yeah, you've got to see this because, yeah. I mean, again, what they do to her, they make her bigger, stronger, faster. But if you guys can do anything to her, go for it.
Yeah.
And they don't. So they didn't get it. So I didn't mind it, but it's okay. It's not great because I like it when they turn the villain into. I don't like horror for the most part. Speaking of that, except our next film.
All right. Rick, how was 28 Dicks Later?
What?
28 Penises Later. How was it?
I should not have given you that poster. Anyway, because they had 4 other posters, and I didn't have to. I chose that one because that one was more representative of the issue with 28 Lynches Later. There we go. It is a challenging movie. It is a very powerful. It is a very smart. It is a very difficult film. Yeah. It's a difficult film.
Okay.
And I liked it because it tried to do something more with the zombie genre than anyone else has done. And they've made an entire thing. And of course, Danny Boyle doesn't, he had the money to make it, so he made it. And he wants to do a sequel. And that sequel is now in jeopardy because the returns have not been as strong as they want. But knowing Danny Boyle, he'll find a way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Copy that. I all I heard was about the ending, the very last part of the movie, and I was like, "What?" But that's all I'm going to say. And then they started laughing hysterically. I don't know if that was the intention of the movie, but I heard about the Ninja Power Rangers that show up at the end of the movie, and I was like, "What?"
Yep. And also,
no.
one other thing shows up.
Okay.
Did you notice who one of those Ninja Power Rangers was?
I didn't see it. I just heard about the scene.
That's the trick. The trick is one of those ninja warriors, which makes sense given if you realize who it is. Should I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll ask the audience. Spoiler alert.
Well, I already said Ninja Power Ranger, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's the guy from the first movie.
No one said that. That's weird.
Most people missed it because he's 30 years older.
Killian
Murphy.
Yeah,
he's the leader of those guys. Cillian Murphy has been preparing to take on the zombies, or they're not zombies, the diseased people, ever since the first movie. So I was like thrilled at the end of the movie. First of all, I love the idea because again, these guys are diseased. They're not zombies. It's different. The whole setup is different. So when somebody shows up who has studied these guys, and unlike the guys in the first half of the movie, they're not trying to prove themselves, because that's what happens in the first half of the movie. They have to prove that kid has to prove he's a man, and the father has to prove that he gave the kid the option. They're not trying to solve the problem. Cillian Murphy is trying to solve the problem. So he shows up with his team at the end. And I just went, oh, that's genius. Because again, if the movie was a huge success, I know Danny Boyle is not going to do the same thing again. Each one of his movies, he does something different, and he develops the story. He keeps the story going, not going on a straight line. He's going up. He's trying to solve the problem. I went, I hope he gets to do the next one. So as such, I really liked it. I was disappointed. I wasn't surprised that it didn't do better.
The next one's a different director, actually.
Well, but he's producing it still. Danny Boyle's still producing.
Most likely. All right. We have finished. It's time for Rick's recap, really quick, for those who just arrived. Thumbs up, thumbs down, side thumbs, corner thumbs. We're gonna get to it.
Everybody can use your
fuck you thumb, the classic fuck you thumb.
The mysterious.
There you go. All right, up first, I was the only one who saw it. Soul Reaper, giving it the thumbs up. Very well done.
Ooh, 2 thumbs up.
Next up is 9 Green Golden Dagger. There we go. We getting the thumb there. The Wild Blade of Strangers. There we go. Thumb up. 11 Rebels. One of the best movies of the year. Yes, 2 thumbs up. Next up is, it's on the list. I already know I'm going to like it. Thumb up. Hold on one second. Give me a second here. I have boxes showing up on my screen right now. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, so Black Creek. There we go. I know I'm going to enjoy it. Make sure you guys check it out and let Cynthia know what you thought of it. Deep Shit. There we go.
Two teardrops.
Diablo. Yeah, really enjoyed that.
For the action, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
For the rest of the movie, thumbs in the middle. Okay.
Squid Game 3, thumb up from Rick. Better than season 2. KO. Yeah. 2 thumbs for KO. I'm really surprised.
2 fists for KO.
Yeah, 2 fists up. Mercy for none. Get the thumb up. All right. KPop Demon Hunters. 2 thumbs up, way up. Predator, Killer of Killers.
Everybody put their thumbs up.
I gotta support my boys. I gotta support the Yakuza. I gotta support the Yakuza.
One of the best of the year.
That's right. Iron Shark.
1 teardrop down.
One teardrop down. Okay, all right. Elio. 1 thumb. Okay. How to remake your remake.
how to do it exactly the way the kids wanted it.
All right.
And also it has the best soundtrack. John Powell's soundtrack of
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon is a classic.
All right. Bride Harder. Bride Hardest.
No
with a
tears,
vengeance.
just thumbs down.
Just thumbs down. All right. Uh-oh. F1. There you go. All right. Thumbs up for the F1. Megan, 2 hours long.
I like it.
Thumb up. Okay, cool. And I already said it already. There you go. Rick. Go Power Rangers. 1 thumb up. And Ballerina. What? Flamethrower fight. What? Yeah. Awesome. Great picks today, and had a blast.
Wait,
as
you got
usual.
more. You got more.
There's more. No, that was it.
No,
That's
where's
it. That was the last
where's
one.
Phoenician?
Oh my goodness, I missed it. Here we go. Boom! Phoenician Scheme.
You know what I'm
It's
gonna
scheming.
do. Boom!
2 thumbs up for the Phoenician Scheme.
If I had more thumbs, it's all
Phoenician
my
Scheme.
It's
There we
all
go.
my
That was for
fingers
Anubis.
up. Fingers up. All my fingers are up.
Awesome. And it's so cool having Frank here. Gonna have Frank back on the show, son. That's right. That's right.
He had the show on his road the last few weeks, so now he's back.
He's back.
And
Oh yeah.
And listen, people, if you have a ticket to that event, come give us a text. Go find us. And also, if you just live in San Diego or the San Diego area, we'll be happy to meet with you. And we'll show you the entire show in your hotel room. Or not, in our hotel room. We do not want to deny you. And we're gonna do the recap, right? We're gonna do the recap.
Oh yeah.
Of that non-existing show that might not
Yes,
happen.
we can't announce yet. Yeah. But thank all of you legends for watching right now. If you enjoyed yourself, go ahead and like and share and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. That's right. Follow the Movie Dojo podcast right here and on Spotify, and this guy's podcast over here, Anubis. Everyone's links. That's right. Their social security numbers, the home addresses, everything's in the description box below. That's right. Follow Frank Jang, Kung Fu Santa Ric Meyers. That's right. Don't forget to let Cynthia Rothrock know what you thought about Black Creek. But if you want some cool autographs and memorabilia, baby, you guys know what to do.
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
Oh, you want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me?
You got it!
Get a piece of Rick.
We've still got some wonderful posters, signed autograph posters and autograph pictures, and many other wonderful things at Chimera Publishing on eBay.
That's right. And that link to the store is in the description box below. So check it out. All right, guys. See you legends on the next one. Keep watching the movies, baby. The action, the kung fu, the martial arts, the horror, baby, the sci-fi. Keep watching it. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Bye.